Welcome back to the Deep Dive, your daily dose of UPSC Current Affairs. We're diving into the news from February 11th, 2025, and this is part one. Get ready for a power-packed session. Sharpen your knowledge and all that good stuff. Boost your exam prep. Some of these topics might sound familiar. A quick revision for our dedicated listeners out there.
That's right. Repetition never hurts.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a fascinating mix today. We'll see how a tiny salamander could revolutionize robotics, why a small island nation in the South Pacific is stirring things up geopolitically, and of course, what makes those famous Kashmir carpets so unique.
We'll also break down SEBI's latest attempt to regulate algorithmic trading, explore the incredible world of graphene, and take you on a virtual journey to the Satkosia Tiger Reserve.
And if you're fascinated by the cosmos, we're going to try and unpack the mysteries of neutrinos. Finally, we'll end our journey with a stop at the iconic Jagannath Temple. Ready to dive in?
Let's go.
All right, let's kick things off with those fascinating salamanders. So, what do these little amphibians have to do with cutting-edge tech? Well, it all comes down to their toes. Researchers have made a pretty interesting discovery.
Yeah, it seems salamanders can control the blood flow to their toe tips. It enhances their grip on surfaces, especially uneven ones like tree bark.
It's like a built-in adhesive system.
Precisely. Nature's come up with some pretty ingenious solutions, hasn't it? And the exciting part is the potential this holds for robotics. Imagine robots that can navigate tricky environments, climb walls, even assist in delicate surgeries.
It's amazing what we can learn from these tiny creatures. All right, let's shift gears and head over to the Cook Islands, a small island nation in the South Pacific. It's suddenly become the center of some geopolitical tension.
Right. The Cook Islands have this free association pact with New Zealand. New Zealand handles their defense and foreign affairs. Now they're considering a cooperation deal with China. That's raised a few eyebrows, to say the least.
It's all about strategic positioning, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Of course. The Cook Islands are right in the heart of the South Pacific, surrounded by other island nations. They're a gateway to important shipping lanes, so any shift in alliances could have a ripple effect throughout the entire region.
And this is where it becomes relevant for your UPSC prep. It might seem like a distant event, but these developments can impact India's foreign policy and its interests in the Indo-Pacific. It's important to understand these dynamics, how everything fits into the big picture. All right, let's zoom in on a piece of India's cultural heritage. Those world-famous Kashmir hand-knotted carpets.
True works of art, those carpets. Intricate designs, exceptional craftsmanship, the whole package. And to protect their authenticity, their market value, they were recently given a new geographical indication, or GI, logo.
That GI tag is a pretty big deal, right?
Absolutely. It signifies that these carpets are made using specific traditional techniques and meet strict quality standards. It helps prevent imitations and preserves the legacy of this ancient craft.
So it's more than just a label. It's recognition of their heritage.
Exactly. Think of the Sena or Sinanot, the distinctive designs, often inspired by Persian and Central Asian motifs. All these elements come together to make these carpets unique and, frankly, highly sought after.
This actually ties into the broader theme of GI tagging in India, which is something you should definitely keep in mind for your UPSC exams. There are so many examples. Darjeeling tea, Kanchipuram silk saris, Alfonso mangoes. These tags protect traditional knowledge, craftsmanship, and they also play a big role in the economy. Okay, time to jump into the world of finance with a topic that's relevant for all of us.
You mean algorithmic trading?
Exactly. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, this is something you need to be aware of.
It's basically using computer programs to make trading decisions based on preset rules. These algorithms can analyze mountains of data, execute trades much faster than any human possibly could.
And SEBI, our market regulator, just introduced a new framework for algorithmic trading. It's especially important for retail investors.
Right. SEBI's framework has two main types of algorithms: white box and black box. White box algorithms are transparent. The logic behind their trading decisions is clear, understandable. Black box algorithms are a bit more mysterious. The logic is hidden.
So with these new regulations, retail investors can now access these powerful trading tools through registered brokers. But it's super important to understand the different types of algorithms, the potential risks and benefits before diving in.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Especially in finance.
Yeah.
SEBI's regulations are designed to protect investors, ensure fairness in the market. Now, get ready to be amazed. We're diving into the world of a true wonder material.
Imagine something thinner than a human hair, but stronger than steel, able to conduct electricity better than copper. What could it be?
It's graphene, of course, a truly revolutionary material, tons of potential.
It's pretty mind-boggling.
It is. All its unique properties come from its structure. It's just a single layer of carbon atoms arranged in this honeycomb pattern. And this simple arrangement unlocks so many possibilities.
The discovery of graphene was huge, and scientists are still exploring its applications. Next-gen electronics, super-efficient solar panels, even things like targeted drug delivery and water purification. It seems like graphene could be the key to solving some of humanity's toughest challenges. Now, let's take a break from all this cutting-edge stuff and immerse ourselves in the natural beauty of the Satkosia Tiger Reserve in Odisha.
A real biodiversity hotspot, nestled right at the confluence of two biogeographic regions. You've got the Deccan Peninsula and the Eastern Ghats coming together.
And it's teeming with life, including some endangered species like the freshwater crocodile and the gharial.
The Mahanadi River flowing through the reserve adds to its ecological importance.
And there's some good news. Odisha's first captive breeding program for sambar deer is being set up within the Satkosia division.
A positive step towards protecting this ecosystem. But of course, like many natural habitats, Satkosia faces challenges. Habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, it's a constant battle.
Protecting these ecosystems needs continuous effort and awareness. Now, get ready to be blown away because we're going subatomic. We're entering the world of neutrinos.
These guys are tiny, almost massless particles, but they're incredibly abundant, the most common particles in the universe, in fact. They're passing through us all the time without us even knowing it.
Like little ghost particles. If they're everywhere, why are they so hard to detect?
Because they hardly interact with matter. Imagine a neutrino passing through light years of lead. It wouldn't even be stopped.
Incredible. But if they're so elusive, how do scientists even know they exist?
By building incredibly sensitive detectors, usually deep underground or underwater, shielded from other cosmic rays. These detectors are designed to capture the rare moment a neutrino interacts with matter.
It's like they're cosmic detectives, piecing together clues from these tiny particles.
Exactly. And what they're finding is helping us understand fundamental processes of the universe, from the Big Bang to how stars work. There's even something called neutrino oscillation, where these particles change types as they travel.
It really is mind-boggling how much we're still learning about the universe, isn't it? Okay, for our final stop today, let's head to the magnificent Jagannath Temple in Puri, Odisha.
A UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the 4 sacred Chardams, a place filled with history, culture, spirituality.
It's got that stunning Kalinga-style architecture, the intricate carvings, the soaring towers. It's a testament to the artistry of the builders.
And of course, there's the famous Ratha Yatra, the grand chariot procession attracting millions of devotees from all over the world. It truly captures the essence of faith and devotion.
The temple has a rich history, dating back to the 12th century, during the reign of King Anantavarman Chodagangadeva of the Eastern Ganga dynasty.
There are so many fascinating stories and beliefs associated with Lord Jagannath. For example, did you know the main temple is built so that no shadow falls on the ground? Any time of day.
That's incredible.
It is. And at the top, there's this 20-foot-high chakra, or wheel, visible from almost anywhere in the city. Every detail of the temple has symbolic meaning, a purpose.
It's amazing how architecture can express spiritual beliefs and cultural values in such a profound way. The Jagannath Temple is a testament to the devotion, the artistry of those who built it. It's a beacon of faith for so many people.
Ready to keep exploring the news from February 11th.
Absolutely. We've uncovered some pretty interesting stuff already, but there's more to dive into. How about we talk about something that impacts India's energy scene and has implications globally, the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damages Act, CLNDA for short.
This act is pretty crucial for India's nuclear energy policy. It shapes how the country handles nuclear incidents and how it collaborates internationally. It's been in the news lately because the Indian government is proposing a few amendments.
And those amendments have caught the eye of some major players in the nuclear industry, specifically American and French companies.
Right. Their interest comes from the fact that their nuclear projects in India have been kind of stuck for over 15 years. The CLNDA, as it stands, raised concerns about potential legal liabilities, making them hesitant to invest. These proposed amendments aim to address those concerns, maybe pave the way for renewed collaboration.
For those of us prepping for the UPSC exams, it's super important to understand the key features of this act. What are the core principles?
Well, the CLNDA works on the principle of strict and no-fault liability. Basically, the operator of a nuclear plant is liable for any damages caused by a nuclear incident, regardless of whether they were directly at fault.
That sounds like a huge responsibility for the operators.
It is, but it serves a purpose. This principle makes sure victims get compensation, and it also encourages operators to maintain super high safety standards.
That makes sense. So how does the financial side work? Who pays for the potential damages?
The CLNDA sets a limit on the operator's liability, currently capped at 1,500 crore. Operators need insurance or financial security to cover this, but if the damages go beyond that cap, the government steps in to cover the excess.
So there's a safety net in place for both the victims and the operators.
Exactly. And to handle the complexities of these claims, the CLNDA establishes a Nuclear Damage Claims Commission. They're responsible for making sure victims get fair and timely compensation.
Now, how do these amendments and the potential for increased international collaboration fit into India's overall energy goals?
Nuclear energy is a major part of India's energy mix. It's clean, it's efficient, and India really wants to boost its nuclear capacity in the coming years. Teaming up with experienced nations like the US and France could really speed things up. They bring advanced technology and expertise to the table.
So these CLNDA amendments go beyond legal jargon. They could have real-world implications for India's energy security, economic development, and those international partnerships. It's interesting how something like a legal act can have such a big impact globally.
It shows you how interconnected global affairs really are, something UPSC aspirants should always remember. Now, for our last story in this part, let's talk about a medical marvel that shows the amazing progress in healthcare and why awareness is so important.
I'm all ears.
A woman in India with the incredibly rare Bombay blood group has successfully had a kidney transplant.
Wow. That's incredible. Didn't we talk about rare blood types in a previous episode? I thought the Bombay blood group was super rare.
It is. It's estimated to be present in something like 0.00004% of the population. Finding a compatible donor is like finding a needle in a haystack.
So what makes this blood group so unique? Why is it such a challenge for transfusions and transplants?
Most of us have this thing called the H antigen on our red blood cells. This antigen forms the basis for the A and B antigens that determine our ABO blood type. But people with the Bombay blood group don't have this H antigen at all.
So it's like they're missing a crucial building block.
Exactly. This makes their blood incompatible with all the standard blood types, even O negative, which is usually the universal donor. Someone with the Bombay blood group can only receive blood from another person with the same blood type.
It's amazing they were able to find a match and do a successful transplant. This case really highlights how important blood donation is and why it's crucial to raise awareness about these rare blood types. You never know. You might be carrying the key to someone's survival.
You're absolutely right. This story also shows the importance of ongoing research, medical advancements, and reminds us that even when things look incredibly tough, there's always hope and the possibility for breakthroughs.
We've covered some heavy stuff today, haven't we? Nuclear energy, international relations, those rare blood types. It's a lot to absorb, but it's all vital for those aspiring UPSC candidates out there. Are you ready for the final part?
Let's do it. Let's keep connecting the dots and see what other insights we can find.
You know, as we wrap up, I keep thinking back to those salamanders and their amazing grip.
It is pretty fascinating, isn't it? Who knew such a tiny adaptation could lead to breakthroughs in robotics?
Yeah, exactly. But it makes you think about, well, the ethical side of things. If we can create robots that can, climb and grip like salamanders, are there consequences we haven't considered?
It's a really important question, and it's one we need to think about alongside these scientific discoveries. As tech keeps advancing, we need to be careful, right? How it's used, the impact it could have, good and bad.
Think about it. Robots with advanced gripping, that could be super useful for search and rescue. Imagine them navigating dangerous terrain, reaching people in need.
Right, but that same tech, it could be used for surveillance, or even, warfare.
It really is a double-edged sword. It's our responsibility to make sure these technologies are used ethically, to benefit humanity.
Couldn't agree more. It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Applies to science and tech just as much as anything else.
So true. As you're preparing for your UPSC exams, remember to think critically, not just about what's happening, but why it's happening, the potential consequences, the ethical implications, the broader impact on society.
It's all about going deeper, developing a real understanding of these complex issues. That's what sets apart those successful UPSC candidates. The ability to analyze, connect the dots, see the bigger picture.
That's what we try to do here on the Deep Dive. to give you the knowledge and insights you need, not just to excel in your exams, but to become informed, engaged citizens.
Well said.
So as we wrap up this edition, remember, keep those brains buzzing, stay curious, and never stop exploring. We've covered so much ground today, from tiny creatures to the vastness of space. I hope you've gained some valuable insights.
It's been a fantastic journey. Always amazing to see how everything's connected.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, a huge thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more analysis of current affairs. We'll be back soon with another episode to help you with your UPSC preparation.